In the 1980s, we saw a huge movement of anti-war and anti-nuclear activists rising up to put pressure on the US and the Soviet Union to ensure that Europe was safe from nuclear war. The treaty that came out of that saw thousands of nuclear weapons scrapped.
It was a treaty that managed to remove 30 years ago all the Pershing missiles from European soil. It managed to denuclearize Europe, and the prospect of that being reversed, the prospect of Trump walking away, is not the way to deal with this. It's incumbent upon the Americans, since this is a treaty between both of them, to make sure the Russians adhere to their part of the bargain. At the same time, the Americans should adhere to their part. Otherwise, we face the prospect of increased nuclear proliferation, which will be very, very damaging to each and every one of us in the world.
It reminds me of the 80s when I was a kid, and I used to go on marches and went to Greenham Common with my mum, and I can see my kids are the same age that I was when I used to go on those demonstrations, and it's absolutely terrifying to think that these threats are back.
I'm here today with CND to remember the fact that in 1987 the treaty was signed, and there's been a lot of work done over years and years by grassroots communities to promote peace.
We need to be de-escalating and getting rid of nuclear weapons, which are a threat to everyone on the planet, threat to our climate, not rushing into a further nuclear arms race.
Donald Trump risks seeing the return of thousands of nuclear weapons to Europe, and once again it is pivotal that that anti-war and that anti-nuclear movement rises up again and demands that we keep this treaty and that we scrap all nuclear weapons.